In today's video, we are going to be looking at golf course communities in Bluffton, South Carolina. We're going to look at the public golf course communities and the private golf course communities. So don't go anywhere. Let's get started right now. Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Low Country, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County? Then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know everything about the current market here in the South Carolina Low Country. My name is David Simcox, host of Low Country Lifestyles and a local realtor. I get calls and emails every day from people just like you and you looking to make their move here, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days, 3 months, or 3 years, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or book a Zoom call, all in the description below, so I can help you find your low country lifestyle. Today, we're talking about golf, and more specifically, golf course communities here in Bluffton, South Carolina. And we're gonna break them down into 3 categories. The first category is what I would refer to as public golf courses. So there's a golf course in the community, but anybody and everybody can play there. And then the next category is going to be private golf course communities, but golf is not required. So you can live in the community, you can choose to join the golf club or not. And then the final category is going to be the private golf course communities that golf is required. So if you live there, you're automatically a member of the golf club. So I hope you enjoy learning about these today. I'm going to take you inside my computer and we're going to break it down starting right now. All right, so we are going to be looking at, again, golf course communities in Bluffton. And I have these broken down, like I said before, into 3 categories. The first category is going to be public golf course communities. So communities that have a golf course in the community, but open to the public, anybody and everybody can play there. The next category, of course, is going to be our private but not required, meaning you have to live in the community or you have to be a member of that golf club to play there, but it's not necessary to join the golf club if you live in there. And the last one is the golf mandatory private clubs, and we'll look at each one in somewhat detail. So the first one we're going to look at in the public golf category, so we're going to go through those first, is Rose Hill. And Rose Hill is located right here on the map, and these are all the past transactions over the past 365 days. And again, just so you know where this is Hilton Head Island. You come across the bridge and you are in Bluffton, which is what we're talking about today. And this one is probably just about halfway between Hilton Head and I-95. And it is one of the older neighborhoods in Bluffton. It's been around for a while, and it's divided in half. This side over here is called the equestrian side or the estate side. And this side over here is the golf course side. These are a little bit smaller lots than the equestrian side, but for the purpose of today's conversation, let's just focus on the golf course side so you can get a feel for that. And some of these homes are on the golf course, others are not. And in the past 365 days, it looks like we've had 46 transactions on the golf course side. And those are priced anywhere from, let's see, let's go, listing price, so $369,000. There's a couple in the 400s, there's a lot in the 500s, and then they go into the 6s, the 7s, and it looks like the most expensive transaction was about $820,000. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the prices are like in there. And I'll jump over here. This is the Rose Hill Golf Club website in case you want to look this up on your own. Again, anybody can play in here. It doesn't matter if you're living in the neighborhood or if you're a tourist visiting our area or you live here and you just want to play around. I do believe they have, this is this year, they change every year. So
If you live in Rose Hill, there is a discount, as you can see, but you can also buy a membership if you are not living in Rose Hill. So that is our first community. All right, so the next neighborhood that we're going to look at, again, this is a public golf course community, so anyone can play here. This is Eagles Point. So we were over here at Rose Hill. Now we just moved across the street and just a little further down 278. If I zoom out again, you can see here's Hilton Head Island. 278 leads over to I-95, and right here is Eagles Point. And again, you can see the golf course kind of winds around the community, and a lot of these houses do have beautiful golf views. Now let's take a look at the prices so you can get a feel for them. And in the past year, it looks like Eagles Point had 15 transactions, and we are priced anywhere from about 410,000, quite a few in the 400s, and then several in the 500s. So it looks like mostly 400s and 500s on the pricing on the Eagles Point properties. Another thing I should point out here, the POA fee for Eagles Point is only $1,508 per year. So very reasonable. I'm going to jump over here to the Eagles Point Golf Club, and you can, like I said, it's just minutes from Hilton Head Island. If you want to go to this website and check it out and get a little bit more information, I believe they actually have a membership you can buy into, or of course you can pay per round. You are not required to live in the neighborhood. So that is our second community we're going to talk about today. All right, so now we're moving on to our third neighborhood, and this one is called Island West. And Island West is over here very close to Rose Hill, which we talked about, and very close to Eagles Point, but it's right here down on the south side of 278. And again, not far from Hilton Head Island, which is over here. We come across the bridge, we've got Bluffton, and this represents all the sales in Island West over the past 365 days. Again, this is a public golf course. Anybody and anyone that wants to play here can play here. But if you live in the neighborhood, again, you can have a golf cart, run down to the golf club. It's pretty cool. And let's look at the prices. All right, so in the past 365 days, it looks like there were 14 sales in Island West. And we have pricing starting at $484. Only one home closed in the 400s in here in the past year, but quite a few in the 5s and the 6s, and then a couple of them do come up into the 700s as well. So again, that gives you an idea for pricing in Island West. Again, this is where it's located, and the POA fee in Island West is only $1,661 per year. So again, very affordable to live in there. And they do have other amenities besides just golf. So they do have swimming pools and other things like that to do. But again, that's not really the focus of this particular video. Now, if you want to learn more about Island West, here is the website for Island West. You can do a little more research and learn a little bit more about this. Or if you're in the area and you want to book a tee time, you can do that right here on their website. All right, so now we're moving on to our fourth neighborhood in the category of public golf course neighborhoods. So this one is called Pinecrest, and Pinecrest is right here on the south side of 278. Of course, we looked at Rose Hill, and it's kind of tucked back in behind Rose Hill. And kind of interesting, you've got Bluffton Parkway, which runs right through the middle of Bluffton all the way down. And half of this neighborhood is on one side of Bluffton Parkway, and the other half is over here below Bluffton Parkway. So that kind of gives you an idea for where it's at. And let me zoom out so you can get a better feel on a larger scale of where we're at. So again, we've got Hilton Head Island, and then we zoom in, we come across the bridge, we're in Bluffton, and this area in here is Pinecrest. And in the past year, let's go to a different view. All right, so in the past year, it looks like there were 25 transactions, and looks like there was one transaction for 355,000, and then it goes right into the 400s. So quite a few in the 400s, and then you've got quite a few in the 500s, and then just a couple of homes got up into the 600s. So that gives you just a little idea for what you get in Pinecrest. And again, we'll pop over here. This is the Pinecrest website. So if you want to do a little research on your own, you want to look at their fees, they do have some memberships you can buy, or you can pay per round if you are visiting or if you live here. So anyway, that is Pinecrest. All right, and now we're moving on to our fifth and final neighborhood in the category of public golf courses. This one is called the Crescent, and you can see it's right here on the north side of 278. And again, we always like to compare things to Hilton Head because it seems like most people know where Hilton Head Island is. This is Hilton Head Island, big tourist destination. We come across, we're in Bluffton. And then you've got 278, which runs all the way from the island all the way out to 95. And this particular neighborhood is on the north side. And you can see the golf course kind of intertwining back around the neighborhood. So lots of these homes do have some beautiful golf views. And let's just look and see what the prices are like in there over the past year. All right, so it looks like we have a total of 19 sales over the past 365 days. And these are a little bit higher priced than what we've been seeing in the other communities up until this point. We've got one home in the 500s, and then we have quite a few homes in the 600s, quite a few homes in the 700s, a couple of homes in the 800s, and the most expensive sale in the neighborhood over the past year is $916,300. Now the POA fee in this neighborhood is a little bit higher than the ones we've talked about up until this point. It is $2,295 per year. And again, this is where we are located. And let's pop over here to the Crescent website in case you want to, absolutely beautiful as you can see. But if you want to do a little research on your own, you can go to this website and get some golf pricing. If you're in town and you want to try it out, try it out. And I believe they also offer some memberships as well to this particular golf course. All right, so now we are moving on to a new category. So this next category is going to be private clubs, but not mandatory golf. So meaning you have to either live in that neighborhood or you have to join that golf club if you want to play that golf course. But it is not required to live in that neighborhood. I'm sorry, it is not required to join the club if you live in the neighborhood. So we will start with a big one, and this particular area is called Sun City, and Sun City is really one of the biggest communities in our whole entire South Carolina low country. And you can tell by the sheer number of transactions that you see on the screen here. But this is a 55 and better community. So you have to be at least 55 years old to live in this community. And they have golf. They actually have 3 golf courses in this community. And part of this community is over here on the south side, which is Beaufort County. And part of it is on the north side, which is considered Jasper County. And then they actually are building a new section over here, so you could do a new construction home. Pointe is the builder right now in this new section. And again, let me know if that's something that interests you and I can point you in the right direction. But for our focus, because we're talking about Bluffton, it's all going to be these transactions down here on the south side. So let me designate that with this little tool. And actually this area over here is Riverbend. That also is part of Beaufort County. It's kind of weird the way this shape looks, but. So here in Sun City, in the past year, you can see there have been 320 sales. So lots and lots and lots of inventory coming and going through this community. And let's just sort it by price here. So something for everyone in this community, as long as you're over 55 or one person in your household is. You're not allowed to have anybody under 18 in there. But they've got one transaction here for 200. You got a couple in the 200s, but quite a few in the 300s, and you're going to see these go all the way up to $1 million. So quite a few in the 300s. And then page 2, we've got quite a few in the 400s. And then we go over here, page 3, and we jump up into the 500,000s. And then we get into the 600s and 700s, a couple in the 800s, and believe it or not, a couple over $1 million, and one as high as $2 million. That's going to be over here in this section. This is all the custom homes. And so those typically are going anywhere from, 800, 900, $1 million, up to $2 million. But the vast majority of the ones down here on the south side, these are going to be priced at, 300 to like 600, 700. And then these ones on the north side, these are the newer construction ones. And if you want to talk about that at some point, go check out my videos on Sun City, where I talk in detail about new construction. Now, the POA fee in here depends on which side you're on. But if you're on the south side, your POA fee is $2,469 per year. So that does not give you access to unlimited golf. You would have to pay separately for golf, but it does give you access to about probably $200 million worth of other amenities, from swimming pools to fitness centers. They've got a dock down on the river. They've got pickleball. They've got tennis. They've got about 150 different clubs you can be a member of. So Sun City is really, really one of the biggest draws to our area. And if you want to jump over here, this is the Sun City website, and I did go directly to the golf link. So it's golfinsuncity.com if you want to learn more about that. And they have different packages, or you can play per round. Some people join leagues, and that's another great way to do it. All right, so now we are moving on to our second neighborhood in the private golf club communities that golf is not required. So again, you can live in this neighborhood and you are not required to join the golf club. But if you want to play golf, you are going to have to be a member of the golf club. And this one is called Hampton Hall. And so this one is right here, kind of smack dab in the middle of Bluffton. This is 278, which we talked about. Hilton Head's over here. Some of the neighborhoods are on the north side. This one's on the south side, and it's actually down below Bluffton Parkway, kind of in between May River Road, also known as Highway 46, and Bluffton Parkway. And it is really a beautiful community. It's got the golf course all throughout here. It has other great amenities. It's got great fitness. It's got an indoor swimming pool. Again, I've done an entire video on this community, so if you want all the details of this particular community, you can go watch that video. But again, we're just talking about golf today. So in this particular community, we have had, believe it or not, 48 transactions. And a lot of people love Hampton Hall because it does have a little bit larger lots, which, in Bluffton, a lot of people say the houses are too close together. So Hampton Hall is a nice option for that. You can see the least expensive was $440,000, and that was for a townhome. As soon as we get into full size or standalone homes, or some people call them single family homes, there was a couple in the 500s, but the majority of these are going to be more expensive. So they very quickly get up into the 700,000s, the 900s, and then probably the bulk majority of these are over $1 million. But again, if you want to learn more about this neighborhood in detail, be sure and check out that video I made about this particular neighborhood. But you can also jump over here to the Hampton Hall website, and you can get all the information about the prices and the fees for the golf club if you choose to join. Again, I'm not going to go into detail on the prices of the actual club because this changes really year to year. But the POA fee without the golf added in is $5,098 per year. Again, that can change every year depending on their budget, but that's what it is right now. And again, if you choose to join the golf club, there is an additional fee for that. All right, so the next neighborhood that we're going to talk about is called Oldfield. And this is a really beautiful community, just a little bit outside of Bluffton, and it's actually considered Okatee, but you can actually address your mail to Bluffton or Okatee and it goes to the same place. So Okatee is kind of a little enclave within Bluffton. So it's still, you know, you're still part of the Beaufort County School District. It's just kind of a section of Bluffton. And it's a little further out here, right? So what we've looked at so far is we saw, here's Hilton Head Island, you come across the bridge, you're in Bluffton. This whole area in here is Bluffton. And then when you come to this intersection here, 278 and 170, you'll go this way on 170. And if you were to keep going, you would eventually be over here in Beaufort. And so it's kind of right before you start heading out of town, heading over to Beaufort. It's on the right and it is gorgeous. They have riverfront facilities. They have multiple restaurants in here. They have an equestrian facility. I mean, the amenities go on and on and on. And again, we'll go into detail on this community on its own independent video. But for the purpose of this one, let's just jump in and talk about the numbers and the golf. So in the past year, it looks like we've had 44 transactions in Oldfield. And Oldfield, the POA fee, or the fee to live in this neighborhood without the golf, is $10,744 per year. Now, again, that can change on an annual basis. So don't quote me on that one. We're about to go into a new year, and very likely that could change a little bit. Could go up, could go down, depending on their budget. But pricing in here is anywhere from, it looks like there's a couple in the 600s, a lot in the 7s, 8s, 9s, and then they very quickly get up over $1 million. And then there are a couple over 2 million. It looks like the most expensive sale in the past year was $2,150,000. And one thing I love about this community is the really Southern style architecture and really their commitment to the outdoors and nature and preservation. They actually have a full-time, I don't know what the term is, full-time person on staff to teach people about nature and ecology and the birds and the wildlife. And, so it's really important to them out there. Now, if you want to look at their website, you can go here, oldfieldgolfclub.com, and you can get a little bit more information about this particular neighborhood. But you can see just from the photos here, just how absolutely gorgeous this particular community is. And I talk about this community a lot in some of my other videos. So if you want more details on this particular one, definitely go and check out some of my other videos about this particular neighborhood. All right, so now we're moving on to our next neighborhood in the private golf club community where golf is not necessarily required. And this one is called Palmetto Bluff. And Palmetto Bluff is absolutely incredible. I have made videos specifically about this neighborhood, and it's more than a neighborhood. It's a lifestyle. It's completely a world unto itself. You go down miles and miles and miles of a road to get into the gate, and then beyond that, they've got multiple villages, they've got shopping, they've got dining. There's actually a resort out here, the Montage Resort, which is an ultra luxury resort, and it's over 20,000 acres. So again, I can't go into every detail about Palmetto Bluff, but again, I made an entire video about this. And so it's down here. So if this is Hilton Head Island, we come over here into Bluffton, and this is 278, which goes all the way out to I-95. And then this road down here is called May River Road, also known as Highway 46. And then Palmetto Bluff is down here. It's all this land. And in the past year, there have been 85 transactions. And looks like the least expensive home in the past year is $930,000. Notice this is only a 1-bedroom, 1-bath little cottage for $930,000. So you can see we're starting to get into a more luxury focused neighborhood here. There's a few in the $1 million range. They very quickly get into the high millions. And then probably the vast majority of these homes are $2 million plus. And then we have a good handful in the $3 million range, several in the $4 million range. And then looks like the most expensive transaction in there was $7,920,000. Now, some of these homes are in like a village style setting, and then some of them are almost on their own estate with their own acreage. They can have their own horse barns. So really, you know, the size of the properties varies greatly. Let me pop back over to the maps to remind you guys where we're at here. The POA fee, if you do not join the golf club, the POA fee is $12,073 per year. Actually, that's this year. It can change every year, of course. And then there are additional things you can join. You can join the golf club. You can join the shooting club. You can join the equestrian center. You can join the boating club. They actually have a marina down on the May River, and they are putting in another marina over on the New River. So all things to look forward to. And if you want to see, this is the Palmetto Bluff website, and there's all kinds of information about the lifestyle, the golf club, the shopping, the restaurants, all the different experiences. So if you want to check that out, you can go to this website here and get more information about it. All right, so now we're moving on to our next community. Again, this is going to be a private golf club, but you are not required to join the golf club. And this one is called Callawassie Island. And just like it sounds, this is an actual island surrounded by water and marsh. And it's got a causeway here that drives over to the island. So you're actually living on your own private island, which I think is pretty amazing. I actually did an entire video on this. So if you want to go check that out and learn all the details about it. Now, it is a little bit, you know, out of the way from Bluffton. It's considered Okatee, which again, Okatee is just like another part of Bluffton. But it is a little bit of a drive down 170, and then you get to this road, which is called Snake Road, and you go all the way out this way, and you go onto the island. And, you know, if you want to be a little bit remote and removed from everybody, I think this is a great option. It's also almost halfway over to Beaufort. So if you want to spend some time in Bluffton around Old Town, and you want to spend some time over here in Beaufort around their historic district, this is kind of a nice middle of the road midway point. And lots of great amenities. And let's just look at the results and see what these are selling for. So in the past year, it looks like we have 35 transactions, and the prices, sorry, I didn't mean to go there. All right, we're back to the right screen here. So it looks like the least expensive home was a townhome for $475,000. And then you have multiple $500,000 homes, 600, 700, 800, and then quite a few over $1 million. Now, some of these homes are a little older and maybe a little dated, but they also have some new construction in there, and there's still some lots for sale. So this is definitely an ongoing project, but absolutely gorgeous. And if you want to go watch that Callawassie video, you can learn all the details about it. Now, Callawassie, if you are not joining the golf club, is going to cost you about $1,100 per month just to live in there. Now, this is the Callawassie Island website. So if you want to go do a little more research, learn about the lifestyle, get information about the prices and the memberships, you can get that here. We're not going to go into every single detail on this video, but definitely one of the most beautiful private islands around this area. All right, so now we're actually moving on to a new category. This is going to be private golf course communities where golf is mandatory. Now, they're not going to actually force you to play golf, but you are automatically a member of the golf club if you buy in one of these communities. And you can basically golf to your heart's content. And you'll see why that is when we talk about the POA prices. But this first one is called Belfair, and Belfair is right here just above Highway 278, about halfway in between Hilton Head Island over here and I-95, and very much a luxury neighborhood, one of the most beautiful, luxurious private golf clubs here in the South Carolina Lowcountry. And let's look at what has actually sold in the past year. So all right, so in the past year, 41 transactions, and looks like our pricing on these is going to be, well, we have one that was in the 600s, several in the 800,000 range, a couple in the 9s, and then the vast majority of these are all $1 million plus, and then a small handful, 1, 2, 3, 4, that were in the $2 million range. So again, that just kind of gives you an idea for the pricing in this particular community. I'm going to show you the Belfair website. So this is Belfair if you want to take a look and learn a little bit more about it. Now, to live in Belfair is going to cost you, right now their pricing is $20,588 per year. But again, that does include golf. So you can pretty much golf to your heart's content. And you can see here from some of the videos and some of the links up top, they have all kinds of other activities to do in here, from golf to swimming to, I mean, it goes on and on and on. So that is Belfair. All right, so now we are on our next community. And again, this is a private golf course community. And again, golf is mandatory here. So this one is called Colleton River Plantation, and it's kind of on a peninsula out here. It is a little bit of a drive once you go through the gate, but it is very incredibly beautiful drive to get back to it. And it's kind of tucked in back behind Moss Creek. And we didn't talk about Moss Creek today because that one is actually technically a Hilton Head address, even though it's on this side of the bridge. So that'll come up in another video. But this one is right when you come across from Hilton Head and you cross into Bluffton, you'll head back into this peninsula. And this is Colleton River Plantation. And let me show you the prices first. So in the past year, there were 30 transactions in this community. And it looks like the least expensive transaction was $965,000. Quite a few in the $1 million range, $1 million to $2 million, and then quite a few in the $2 million range. And then it looks like the most expensive sales in the past year, we had one for $3.7 million, and then there was one for $4.8 million. So that kind of gives you an idea, price range, what you're going to pay in Colleton River Club. And I'll pop over here to the website just so you can get a feel. All right, so they are claiming that this is the most beautiful place in the Lowcountry. I might agree with them. It's pretty darn incredible. And if you want to go to their website and you want to get a little bit more information, you can check it out right here, colletonriverclub.com. All kinds of other lifestyle activities as well, which we're not going to talk about in detail because this video is primarily focusing on golf. But if you want to live in Colleton River Club, right now the annual dues are $27,125. And again, you can golf to your heart's content. All right, so now we're going to look at our last community on today's video. This one is called Berkeley Hall. And again, this is a private club, private community that you are required to be part of the golf club. And no reason not to. It's an absolutely beautiful course. And as you zoom in here, you can see multiple golf courses in here. And these are the transactions. And if you look, here's Hilton Head Island. We come across the bridge, and this one is almost before you get to 170 here on the north side of 278. And let's look at pricing on these. So in the past year, 33 transactions, and it looks like one transaction in the 600s. We've got one in the 700s, and then they very quickly get up into the 800s, 900s, and then probably the vast majority of these are in the $1 million to $2 million range, and then a small handful in the $2 million plus range. So in the low 2 millions, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 transactions. So that kind of gives you an idea for pricing in this particular neighborhood. And if you want to check out their website, it's right here, berkeleyhallclub.com, and lots of other lifestyle options, lots of things to do. I made an entire video about this community, so if you want to go watch that in detail, you can learn everything there is to know about the Berkeley Hall Club. And the fee to live in Berkeley Hall this year is $24,230. Again, that does include golfing to your heart's content. So if you golf enough, I promise it's worth it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed learning about those particular neighborhoods and all the other neighborhoods that we talked about today.
All right, thank you guys for staying till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the public golf course communities, the private golf course communities. And again, if I can help you find your low country lifestyle, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or book a Zoom call, all in the description below. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest of everything happening here in the South Carolina low country, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know every time we drop a new video. It's been an absolute pleasure spending time with you today, and I hope to see you in person at some point, or of course, I at least want to see you on the next video. Have a great day.